When I was initially going from high school to college, unlike in the US, in India it turned out that engineers are considered hot, okay, so not nerdy, okay, and electronic engineering at that time was actually one of the hottest areas. So that is what I decided to go into for my undergraduate. And then my goal was to become a manager. I wanted to study at the Indian Institute of Management, and that's what I was planning for. But it so happened that one of my table tennis colleagues, somebody I practiced with, he got an application form from some university called Washington University in St. Louis, and he said, give it to somebody, and this person gave it to me. So I had not taken any of the GREs or TOEFLs or anything like that, and I just filled out this application on a lark and sent it in. And I was completely shocked when on the same day that I got admission into this Institute of Management that I had been craving all my life, I got a research assistantship with this university, Washington University in St. Louis. And I said, of course, I'm not going to go to the US, I'll go to management. But then I talked to a whole bunch of my friends, and everybody said, you know, this is it's good to see the world, get away for a year or two, and you know, it's good for you. So I looked at all the coursework, and I figured out that I could actually finish my master's degree in I forget what it was, 9 months or 18 months or something. And I said, I'm going to do it as fast as possible and come back. But then of course you get trapped, and it turned out fortuitously that the field I had chosen was actually an important field. I actually liked it, and now I love it. You have to be yourself. That is, I mean, it is good to have a role model and so on, but ultimately you have to be yourself. We had something called a National Science Talent Exam, and I made a moving coil emitter or something for one of those things. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The diversity it brings to your life and the flexibility. So for example, you know, a lot of people think that a professor just teaches, but actually we wear an enormous number of hats. We teach, we mentor graduate students, PhD students, we write papers, we do research, we give lectures, we travel all over the world. I've been to a humongous number of countries, almost everything in Europe, in Asia, etc. It's a very diverse lifestyle, and the interesting thing is that it is all done at your own pace. There's no boss. You are beholden to yourself, but you have to maintain your standards and so on. So I think it's a wonderful profession. You have to like what you're doing. You should not be stressed by it. So I tell a lot of people who are aspiring for a PhD or for a career in academia, they come and ask me, should I do it? And I tell them, if you really like what you're doing, if you're not stressed by it, and you'd like to continue doing it, that's wonderful. One of the greatest things that we do is educate students. And I'm talking not only undergraduate students, but even graduate students, PhD students, and so on. So mentoring PhD students, which of course is a byproduct of your research. In fact, it's research that you do with them. It's like an apprenticeship system, right? So PhD studies is really a joint venture conducted over many years with one-to-one interactions over long periods of time. And so I think that's some of the greatest things that we do for society. And these are the students who go to other universities, who head all the research labs at all the companies, at IBMs, at General Motors, at all these companies. So I think that is one of the great contributions we make. And of course, aside from that, we are also pushing the boundaries of knowledge and starting new fields and coming up with research results and so on and so forth. Yeah. One of the people I'll mention is a professor at Berkeley, Praveen Varaya, who is very broad and very flexible. By the way, I think it helps to have role models. It's because you have to embody. You have to see the embodiment of something before you can emulate. So I think yes, I've been influenced by a number of researchers. And in fact, everybody you meet has some very attractive aspect that you'd really like to have. So yeah, so you see beauty and examples all over. We have such a flexible, loose, somewhat unstructured but still structured lifestyle. People don't really know all the diverse things we do and how we have to kind of segue from one activity to another activity seamlessly. They would be surprised by how many different kinds of things we do and the way we transition effortlessly between them. All those course notes and things like that which I've written out in hand and for which I don't have any copies. This is not a theoretical question, by the way. There was a fire in Oakland Hills, Berkeley, and many professors who were working on books and manuscript, and they had one copy at their home and that was it. Oh, they lost it all. I like to listen to classical music. Actually, I like to listen to Indian classical music, so I do, but most often I'm listening to news or something.